Tomorrow's nemesis.
As a coach, I tell people to plan, prepare, and control the variables. This is the plan. Drive to the world's steepest race, scout the hill, have 1 pint, get a good night's sleep, and bowl for glory. Here's what actually happened. 1 pint, went to a rave in the back of a pub, guided by the world's least responsible security guard. And we woke up with a hangover and a new problem. There are heats. Might have to run down this hill more than once. Every adventure starts with a plan. Mine, on paper, was a masterclass of professional preparation. The mission: drive from the chaos of Manchester to the supposed tranquility of the Cotswolds, scout the legendary cheese rolling hill, get a good night's sleep, and conquer the world's most ridiculous race. Simple, disciplined. As a coach, this is what I preach. But the first variable in any plan is always the human element. Our crew was assembled. Hayden, our stoic wheelman, the chief of snack logistics.
What do you got there? Some snacks.
Bod, the silent professional on the primary camera, and Luca became cameraman, immediately blurring the lines between participant and camera rig.
Spider-Man. I'm cameraman guy.
The discipline part of the plan was already on shaky ground. The journey down was stunning. There's a sense of calm that you get when leaving the city behind. Even on the open road, the signs were there. While I was trying to get in the zone, contemplating the challenge ahead, Luca was deep in the analysis of the F1 while we were getting humbled by Nissan Skylines. It was hard to feel like elite level athletes. Then the universe threw us a rainbow. I took it as a sign of good fortune, promise of glory. In hindsight, it was probably just nature's way of ironically pointing out the pot of gold that we're about to miss in favour for a rave in the back of a pub. And this is the thing they never mention online. Cooper's Hill is genuinely breathtakingly beautiful. The view is serene. It's a lie, a beautiful lie, designed to lure you in before it throws you down a 45-degree angle of pure chaos. And to make sense of the madness, we had to see it for ourselves.
Very private that way, so we're just trying to figure out if we walk up someone's private road. I mean, I feel like we can walk up there, but yeah, I mean.
You drive up, I'll drive up.
Yeah, I'll do a drive up, and they yell at me,
Okay. Tomorrow's nemesis.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm just recording.
Looks peaceful today, but holy shit. This is not, we're not playing around, are we? Good on the knees, isn't it? Straight into the gravel.
I think I'm gonna fall down, like just going down.
Currently taking bets on how many times I questioned what I'm doing here.
It was up there that we got a real sense of community. We weren't the only ones making the pilgrimage. We said hello to another crew who it turned out had over 1 million subscribers. Politely asked us if we could jump out of their shot for a second while they took a photo. My brain, in a desperate attempt to make conversation and seem cool to a fellow creator, decided to completely betray me. As we were moving, I just blurted out, "Oh, is that for the thumbnail?" Words hadn't even fully left my mouth before I realised how stupid it sounded. Yeah, a static group photo. I knew it would be a terrible thumbnail. Just trying to connect, and Chris just looked at me deadpan and said that'd be a terrible thumbnail. He was right. Of course he was right. In one sentence, I'd successfully branded myself as the guy that didn't understand YouTube. Brilliant. The sensible plan was taking hits from all angles, and we hadn't even found the pub yet. My professional reconnaissance run was a sobering experience. I went down slowly, carefully, and with all the grace of a newborn foal. And the hill still took a piece of me. Score after 5 minutes was hill 1, my right shin 0. With the hill scouted and a healthy dose of fear in the tank, we headed back to base camp. The mood in the car, somewhere between nerves and denial, which of course is when Fod and Luca decided to point the cameras at me. Nothing like documenting a breakdown in 4K. Our Airbnb came with a complimentary welcoming party in the form of an incredibly friendly and possibly psychic cat. It took one look at me, clearly recognised a fellow agent of chaos, immediately claiming my shoulders as its personal viewing platform. I wasn't about to argue, I feel like I've been chosen. This is definitely a good omen, right? Everyone has their own pre-event ritual. Hayden, our designated driver, stoic rock, entered a deep state of meditative relaxation on the sofa, seemingly immune to the surrounding energy. And then there was Luca, whose prep was a multidisciplinary triathlon of chaos. It involved defying gravity with handstands, testing out the structural integrity of the budget furniture, and jumping on my laptop to produce an absolute heater. The man is a whirlwind of creative energy.
Give the castle.
Quad is having an intimate moment with his reflection, and Luke and I were trying to solve the internal mystery of why the GoPro is blinking like that. It was a hive of productivity.
Obviously, you can see.
Oh, sick.
Hello, bro. How you doing? Hello.
Hello.
Hi, mom.
This is the last moment of calm, final minutes of the sensible plan. It was time for that one quiet, professional pint. The objective was the Pelican Inn. From the outside, it looked like a classic, quaint English pub. Inside, it was more like a time capsule from 1983 with a beer tap. There were VCRs on the wall. Yeah, actual VCRs. Felt like I should have asked for a pint of Contro and a packet of Monster Munch. Walking in was a proper record scratch moment. It felt like we'd walked into someone's living room uninvited during a particularly quiet episode of Emmerdale. The four people in there just turned and stared at us with a kind of intense suspicion usually reserved for tax collectors and people that put pineapple on pizza. It was brilliant. But as is often the way, a bit of chat about craft beer seemed to be the universal peace treaty. We got our pints and retreated to the garden, feeling like we'd successfully passed some sort of cryptic village entry test. The sensible plan was, for now, intact. We were professional athletes enjoying a single, well-deserved recovery beverage. Everything was going perfectly. But then, sitting there in the quiet evening air, just talking shit basically, I heard it. It was a distant rumble, a bass line. It wasn't coming from the pub, there were only geriatrics in there. And the most aggressive thing on the jukebox was probably the jam. It was coming from somewhere else, somewhere in the dark. The sensible part of my brain, coach, screamed, ignore it. It was nothing. You have a date with a dangerously steep hill tomorrow. Finish a drink and go to bed. But the storyteller, the adventurer, he knew better. He knew that it was the sound of the sensible plan dying very loudly. Therefore, I had to investigate. I followed the sound round the corner, expecting to find maybe a kid's birthday party with a surprisingly good sound system. What I found instead was the last thing I'd ever expect to see in a sleepy Cotswold village on a Sunday night.
Yo.
He followed the music.
Yeah, bro, there's literally a full drum and bass gig going on.
Drum and bass. Okay.
The vote was unanimous. The professional athlete's early night was officially and very enthusiastically cancelled.
Like, don't amazing go chance, like. Shit. Nice. Yo, man.
Brooklyn.
Yo.
It's a real bad man da.
How
Hey,
you doing, man? How you doing?
real bad man da, Brooklyn. Yeah, you don't know fully.
Let's go
You
this way.
don't know.
Sick, man.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
How you
out
doing?
here, man. Good.
Holy shit.
I'm the celebrity here, right?
Yeah, man. Yeah, go,
Yeah,
go.
It's a real bad man.
There you go, man. Let's go.
It's a real bad man.
Man, what the fuck? What the fuck? Man, what the fuck?
What followed was a few hours of pure, unexpected joy. Our guide for the evening was a security guard who decided that his primary duties were less about security, more about delivering questionable rhymes and sharing a drink with us. The night was a blur of scatty dancing, swapping hats with complete strangers, and discovering a small, terrified dog in the men's toilets. It was a proper cultural experience. And amidst the chaos, just when I thought the night couldn't get any weirder, that local lad dropped an absolute bombshell on me. The cheese roll has heat. I had to run down that near vertical death trap multiple times.
How do you win it? You have to be first. In the first race. There's about 10 heats. You have to do the heats. But you got to do it multiple times. You have to do it multiple times, bro. I'm not doing it more than one. You can't just do it once, bro. There's heats. It's like there's heat 1, then heat 3, then the final.
You can see the exact moment my soul left my body. My entire survive it once strategy was in tatters. There was no time to dwell on that because someone mentioned an after party. Did the horrifying news of multiple runs stop us from walking 30 minutes to an after party in a stranger's house? Did it fun? Did the fact that the after party was a 40-minute Uber ride away from our Airbnb give us pause? Also, no.
Oh man. Relapse 21st of April.
These are the moments that forge character and hangovers, but mostly hangovers. So here we are, the morning of the world's most dangerous race, hungover, underslept, and now mentally preparing for multiple runs of pure gravitational punishment. Perfect plan was in tatters, but we had so much more of a better story to tell. Sometimes the best preparation isn't a good night's sleep. It's a reminder that the best parts of life are the ones that you don't plan for.
So Operation Dairy is underway. Cheese rolling day today. Much needed supplies to get us there. Pushed it way too hard last night. Ended up at some random guy's after a drum and bass gig that we just stumbled upon. Good story, but paying for it today. Exactly what I needed. If I didn't have Monster right now, not in a state to be rolling down the hill. I'm not in a state to be rolling down the hill anyway, but we're here when we move. So something we found out yesterday as we're at the drum and bass gig, which obviously was ill-advised, but we made it happen anyway, is that there's actually heat. So we've got to do this more than once. The guy said though that most of the people that get into the final heat or the final race just slide down on their ass. So I don't know how hard it's going to be, or I mean, we spoke to a guy yesterday that has over 1.2 million subscribers on YouTube, and he did it last year, and he said get there early, otherwise you're going to be pushing in line to try and get to the front. So we're getting conflicting thoughts on what's actually happening. So we will wait and see. We'll get there and we will assess the situation as it comes.
If you want to see how this masterclass in professional preparation translated into a race day performance, the main event video is out next. It's somewhere on the screen here. And believe me, it gets messy. You're not going to want to miss it. Hit that like button, subscribe, all that jazz, because apparently that's how the internet works. And if you do, I'll keep throwing myself downhill so you don't have to. And as a thank you for surviving this chaos, here's a picture of a goldfish. Don't say I don't give you anything.